Hello, everyone. It is Minute Plus Meditation here, Saturday, January the 11th. First reading, we're in the 5th chapter of 1 John. My dear people, this is what boldness we have in God, that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. And if we know that he hears us in whatever we ask, we know that we have obtained the requests made of him. It's a good question to ask ourselves. Do you believe this? Do I believe this? Do we really believe this? I mean, really, really, really believe this? That if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. Now, I guess, to kind of take the English part, I don't know Hebrew, but he hears us. So in other words, he hears our prayer. Do we believe this? Many people think, or they conclude, that if they don't get what they're asking for, as they're asking for it, then God is not even listening to them, or God doesn't have time for them, he's not paying attention, he's busy. So in other words, prayer basically is about their needs. It's about them. So what St. John is saying here is, if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. So God does hear us. And in fact, he can't not hear us. But the opposite is true with you and me. We can shut the door in each other's face. We can walk away from each other. We can pretend not to hear when in fact we do hear. We can be so busy. We can look right at a person and we're not listening. We don't hear what they're saying because we're so distracted. We're so mesmerized by something else in our imagination. But God can't not hear. The important thing is, number one, is to acknowledge that God hears everything we say, every prayer we offer. But if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us, with the implication that, he will grant us the answer to our prayer, which could actually mean no, as I said many times before. It could be yes, but not now. It could be yes, but in another form. We think we know everything. We know basically nothing. The problem is we don't know that we don't know. That comes through humility. It comes through some experience, but it also comes through humility. That we don't know many things, and many times we don't know that we don't know. So we keep, doing the same things over and over again, rather than learning from them. So it's always important that we align ourselves with God's will and that we mean it. That we don't just say the words because we think somehow that makes our prayers more pious. We need to mean it and tell God, I truly mean that if this is not good for me, I don't want it. Please don't give it to me. But if it's good for me, if it's good according to your will, then please, Lord, grant this. But in your timeline, not in my timeline. Okay, over to the gospel. This is from John chapter 3. It's about John the Baptist because we're on the edge of the baptism of the Lord, which is tomorrow. John answered, these people are asking him, who are you? He says, no one can receive anything except what has been given from heaven. God's grace, God's vocation, the vocation. You yourselves are my witnesses that I said I am not the Messiah. So why are you asking me? But I have been sent ahead of him. That's my vocation. I know this. I've lived this. I've been true to this. Nobody will ever get me off the path of this. This is my purpose in life. I have been sent ahead of him. He who has the friend of the bridegroom, and he who has the friend is the bridegroom. The friend of the bridegroom who stands and hears him rejoices greatly at the bridegroom's voice. For this reason, my joy has been fulfilled. He must increase, but I must decrease. This in so many ways shows John's greatness, that he really is aware that he's an instrument, that he is the voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord. And he's willing, he doesn't dilly-dally for a second. As soon as Jesus is on the scene, he begins to recede into the background, the quicker the better. Because he knows he's not even worthy to undo the sandals of Jesus. He's under no second guessing here, that he has fulfilled his purpose. He must increase and I must decrease. You and I need to pray this often, That we, in our life of evangelizing others, we of course are the first ones to be evangelized. But in evangelizing others, to pray that we don't get in the way, to pray that we don't get ahead of the message, we don't become the message, that we present Christ as Christ and Him crucified according to the teaching of the church, that we, like John the Baptist, we must decrease so that Jesus may increase. We're really trying to help people meet Jesus Christ, not to meet me and, oh, by the way, I have someone I want you to meet, but to meet Jesus Christ. And if we're good instruments, then we have fulfilled our purpose, just like John the Baptist. God bless you.